Let's just get down to business on this one. We were here on Monday, first show on, markets rock, futures deep down. A lot of thoughts about it's going to change the landscape for AI infrastructure, the need for CapEx spending and things like that. I want to talk to you about DeepSeek now. We've had a few days to digest. Is it a meaningful development when it comes to enterprise AI?
Frank, I was just here a month ago, and we spoke about the pace of innovation in AI. And this week was just a great example of that. So much has happened this week. DeepSeek ultimately represents a very profoundly positive impact on the AI space, bringing down the cost of compute, bringing down the cost of inferencing, making it far more easier for startups, for consumer AI to adopt these technologies. However, the reverse is true for my customers. Over 2,000 enterprise clients at Unifor, as I speak to them, and just this week I've hit up over 20 of CIOs and CEOs, and here's what they're telling me. They're telling me, first of all, the impact, the ROI of the use cases in the enterprise, large banks, large telecoms, was already so large that it wasn't like these companies were waiting for the cost of inferencing to go down. So in that sense, it's a net positive, but it doesn't change too much on the pace of adoption. It's already very high. But the second issue, about half of my customers told me this week that the China issue was top of their mind. In fact, one CIO of a major bank that we do business with said, we don't even use Lenovo laptops in this bank, let alone letting something that's going to look at our data and touch our data. So I think there are implications that we will keep hearing about. But make no mistake, we're going to see more of these DeepSeek type announcements in the coming weeks from US, from countries around the world.
Okay.
And we are just at that early cycle of this innovation.
All right, so great for consumers, great for startups. When we're talking about large enterprises, not quite a great fit. So you kind of hit on something I was going to ask you. Is there a national security or at least a company data security threat when it comes to using DeepSeek? Are you concerned that it's possible this hedge fund that created is possibly working with the Chinese government? And also, do you believe the claims developed in 2 months for $6 million?
Well, separate questions. Let's talk about the claims. The good thing that DeepSeek has done, and I think it's a massive positive for the whole industry, is they've open sourced, they put out a lot of detailed technical data about how they went about bringing this innovation to market. We've had time, our engineers have had time not only to play around with the technology, but to study that data minutely. And I think there's a lot of believability there. A lot of people make the mistake of saying they claim $6 million of training versus hundreds of millions of dollars of a US model. I don't think that's true. Anthropic and Databricks have said their training runs are in the $10 to $15 million range. So for a DeepSeek to come out and say they did it in 6, it is believable.
Right.
I think on the flip side, you asked me about security concerns, et cetera. It's too early.
Okay.
People have to examine. But it is top of mind for large enterprise, especially regulated American corporate America. That is top of mind for them.
All right, we were just showing the audience a second ago while you were talking the relative cost of the DeepSeek model to some other models. As you mentioned, the cost is going down. We talked about the impact on the chip sector a short time ago with our guest. I want to talk to you about the software sector and companies like yours. What are we seeing when it comes to development of a lower cost overall for a company like yours and for enterprise software names? Is this definitely a tailwind, and how does it impact the long-term outlook when it comes to names and companies like yours?
The analogy I like to draw here, Frank, is when the internet was about to take off, there was a lot of talk about how are we investing in overcapacity, networking was the big infrastructure build-out. LLMs are like that. Right now we are in this infrastructure build-out. Lots of CapEx is being announced every week by different companies and so on and so forth. But not until the mobile device came out with a low-cost option that the consumption of internet in consumer and enterprise really took off 2 decades ago. We're at that moment. The cost of compute just went down, and it's on a one-way street here. The cost of compute is beginning to get commoditized, trending to zero, and DeepSeek was the first step in that direction. We shouldn't be surprised. This is how technology rolls. What Unifor does for its clients is give them now the application layer, giving them the access to agentic AI, which really is where they can derive ROI from these big AI models, automate a lot of tasks, bring efficiency in their business, increase their earnings overall.
Okay.
And so in that scenario, this is a net positive. Our customers weren't waiting for this. CEOs have told me 2025, they aren't just looking for one or the other area like a call center to get AI-fied. People have said in 2025, Umesh, my entire company needs to be AI-fied. We've done workshops after workshops with our customers, and enterprises are accelerating the adoption of agentic AI.